When buying a chocolate bar, what do you think about? How many calories are in it? Well, you can find that on the back of the wrapper. What about how many children go to work in cocoa fields every day instead of school to get you that chocolate bar?
These children don't have a chance.
They are stricken by poverty and have no choice but to go to work to feed themselves and their family.
The Ivory Coast is where 43% of the world's cocoa comes from.
Here alone, thousands of children work 12 to 15 hours a day, and most of them are under the age of 12.
Child labor is defined as children that do work for which they are too young or by which the nature of the work is carried out, exploits, and abuses them, harms their safety, health, and hinders their education and development.
When thinking about child labor, we often think about sweatshops, but 70% of child labor is from agricultural work.
Often children have been kidnapped or traded into slavery. They sleep in small huts, work long hours, then eat a diet that consists of cocoa beans and bananas that they most likely stole.
Would you want this for your children, neighbors, and friends who are going to school, playing sports, and comfortable and well loved in their homes?
Of course not. So why would you not do what you can for children all over the world? It doesn't have to take a lot.
We as consumers have power that we do not even realize.
Making decisions about what we buy and where we buy it from, we send a message to manufacturers.
For example, corporate social responsibility is becoming much more popular.
Companies, industrial sectors, and associations have started to introduce codes of conduct and standards, where not employing child laborers in one of the core conditions included.
Fair trade labels are also becoming more and more popular.
Consumer boycotts have been proven to be effective in the case of Nike. The company was forced to make a change in labor practices in the developing world due to adverse boycotts in the developing world.
On the other hand, boycotts often just make matters worse. For instance, they could force children from the unsafe factories to the more dangerous work on the streets. In addition, if not properly organized and followed through, they are purposeless.
It is also difficult to support one company over another because child labor is so widespread, and companies' track records are not also always clear.
The best choice is to use your buying power to support organizations and initiatives that are promoting not using child labor. When doing this, the idea is that the demand for child laborers will go down. Consequently, children will get less pay and lose their jobs. They will spend their time in school instead of working.
Based on consumer rejection, the companies that once used child labor will diminish. Companies that don't use child labor will employ adults. With children absent from the workforce, there will be a higher need for laborers.
As a result, wages for these adults will increase. Parents would then have enough money to support their families, leaving their sons and daughters free to obtain their education as children around you obtain theirs.
Be aware of the message you are sending to manufacturers.
You are saying that it's okay to exploit children if you don't hear about it.
You are saying that you don't care if children are blinded from pesticides if you can't see them.
You are no longer ignorant to the injustices that take place each day.
Take responsibility to make a change in the world. Stop child labor.
And the